Hey, what's up traders? Welcome to this order flow video where I want to show you how to use this amazing tool to predict the next possible move of the markets. So we are now looking to the pound franc. I have picked up this cross pair because I like the COT data and the retail sentiment in order to predict what could be next possible move, right? So before we will start to do some technical analysis, we might can look to the order flow. So I'm going to my web page and I'm going to this order flow tab, right? So if you don't have a full version which costs just $15 monthly, you can try the test version where you actually get this order flow where you will see just euro and the yen. But it's good for the practice and to see how it's working, right? So you can of course do the filters for the 1 year, 3 years and everything to see the data more clearly, but it's limited that you will not be able to see the other pairs, just euro and Japanese yen. Then if you get the full version, you can just click here and it will take you to the page where you can subscribe for a set just $15 monthly, which is almost nothing because you get the data 4 times a week, which is less than $4 weekly for getting this amazing data. I was collecting that in the past into the Excel, and manually it takes me more than 1 hour every week to get this data. So I'm going right now to check this pound franc and we will see what's going on in here. And it's quite interesting what is it telling us. So I will bring this pen, and right now here on the right side we are looking to the pound, and what we can see here is that non-commercials, which is speculators side, they actually had quite large longs positions, right? And they slightly reducing them in the past few weeks, right? So that looks that the pound is most likely topping, right? So they have right now only 47k net positions long, right? And then in the past they had actually this 68. It was maybe on that bottom, if you remember this boom what happened on the pound, and right now we are here and you can see they closing these longs, right? So they of course bought some down and here on the top they starting to close. If we look to the commercials, we can see that their longs positions slightly dropping as well. They had 232k and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks they drop it, right? So it still looks that they are 61% against 39 bullish, but they are not bullish as they've been in the past. You can see that this position has dropped, right? And we can see same drop on the non-commercial. So that means that if the pound, if you just imagine this is a chart, is getting here on the top and they are closing the longs positions, they probably taking a profit, right? So if you look to the pound, and we can see that the pound is basically going up here for this 6 week. So we can actually see this data released. Not this one, this is this Tuesday. We don't have this data, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this 6 weeks, since they reported 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, since they've been reporting this, they closing the longs positions in here. So we could expect the price dropping lower. But this is a pound franc, right? So this is pound franc. So let's check what is going on the franc. Here we have the franc on the right side. And this is a franc. This is not USD franc, right? This is franc, just franc. So what we can see in here is basically that non-commercials, they are closing the longs positions, right? Okay, that's fine. They're closing longs. They're bringing the shorts. They are minus 11k, which is slightly bearish for the franc. But if we look to the commercials, which are the hedgers, look what they are doing. They're actually bringing the longs positions, right? And they closing their shorts. I mean, they're not closing that too much, but if we look to the net positions, we can see that from the 13k they growed up to the 23k, right? So what that means, if we compare this minus 11 against 23, it's actually positive 12k, right? So we have plus 12k on the franc, right? And on the pound we have minus 47 against minus 66, which sorry, plus 66, which would be something like plus 18, right? So if we compare this, yes, it's correct, this is still bigger, right, than this. So that would say that the pound could go higher. But remember, the data are actually released every Tuesday. So this data, what we get here in this application, it's from the Tuesday. Where was this Tuesday? It was here. What was then happening when the price went up and then it dropped? That means probably that if we can see that the trend, that the behavior of these two groups on the pound, which are actually closing the long positions, what they most likely did on this up move, what they did here, let me bring better color, what they did here, if they've been closing the longs in here, do you think they started to take a long in here? No, they most likely used this move to offload more longs. And on the franc, what we can see here is that these groups are building the shorts as the price is going higher. So what they most likely did here, they most likely built even more shorts. So yesterday we had some report which we will see just on the Friday. So we don't know what happened yet in this period. Sorry, in this period we don't know why is it not. Okay, so let me use this one. So in this period we don't know what happened yet, but we can assume what happened, right? Okay, so based on this we can expect that the price will later go lower, right? So right now let's bring some technical analysis. Yes, so what I like always to do is to bring a channel. Why I like the channel? Because it can slightly show me where is a possible top, right? So I like to put it like this or like this. I think I will do it like this, right? So what is important for me in here is to draw it like that, so we can see that the channel has these tops in here, and we can see that these middle bands and this one is like somehow in the confluences, right? So this is, of course, not only this is the most important thing for me. What I am looking for is the terms of the liquidity, right? So was it some liquidity level taken out in here? Yes, we can see some level was taken here, and then we can see this level was taken out here. So we have a liquidity being taken out, right? If we want to, what I like to use as well is I like to put the profile on the level from where we can see some accumulation and then drop from there, right? So we can see here is the level, and lower side of this profile of this purple level is here. So this is correctly here, right? So we can see that that we have two liquidity levels being taken out. What that could be used for, if we know that on the pound the large speculators closing the positions, what they most likely did in here, this is a buy side liquidity, right? So if they send the market through it, someone in here, the breakout traders, they bought, so they can sell their positions, right? Most likely they've been doing it. So this is in my opinion what was happening in here, right? So in this liquidity they used it to sell their pound positions, their longs, and most likely the other side they built the shorts on the franc, as we can see here that they already doing it in their long term, in their what they actually doing here, we can see that they building these positions. So they most likely use these liquidity levels to do that, to finish their scenario, right? So we have this, then I go lower time frame always, and I want to see a previous day's highs, lows, right? So we can see that we had actually, this is interesting, and I kind of missed it, we had the previous week's high, which was actually taken out just by few pips here on the Monday. It was taken out, and since then the price is dropping down, right? So this high is already taken. Right now, where is a previous week's low was here. So most likely the price could visit this previous week's low. Previous week's low for me, I'm using this color, right? So previous week low. Right now, as I already know that I want to enter the short, I will be looking for the short positions, and I want to see a violations of some liquidity levels. So what we have previous day's high here, but we have FOMC tonight, so I will definitely not be just entering in here. I think the price can move higher above, for example, not for example, but it's a reason for above these two equal highs. And as well, in here is a gap which would be filled, and even I think we can go to this weekly open, because mostly the weekly open is being retested. So I would be betting on this, and why I think the price will still move higher. So let's go back into my application. So now we are looking into the COT data, which is a large speculators and this commercials, which is the hedgers. But right now we want to look to the retail position. So it's this button, and it will take you into this dashboard, which is actually kind of, I would say, amazing thing, which my very skilled coder created for me. It's actually, I will show you, we'll see, and I really like it. So here is all the pairs, most of the Forex pairs. Here's as well the DAX, you know, gold, some Mexican peso as well, but not much. I think that's enough what we need for the trading, right? What we can do in here, I will show you in the next video. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe for my channel. But we are looking for the pound franc, and this is actually the data what you can see. This is actually the data which you can see on the MyFX book, right? If you go to the MyFX book, you will be able to see this, right? Something like this, that you will see some exposure 69 to 31, right? You will see longs, you will see average short price, average long price, right? Volume, and this is what we all collecting from there. And this is exactly what you see on the MyFX book. Okay, but this is actually not too much useful. You need to have it in a history, so you historically actually can see what is happening in here. And I will show you right now how powerful is this thing. So right now we can see what's happening here on the franc. So we can see that if we have it updated daily. I was in the past, we've been updating it every 15 minutes, but for the swing trading it's really not useful. We can see daily what is happening, and we saw that on the 28th, which is 4 days ago, there was quite big exposure to the short side, and we can see how for the last 4 days this is already dropping down, right? So what that means, on the 28th of the previous month, which was somewhere here, watch it. So we can see here was, let me bring the color. So here was actually the biggest short exposure in that time, because traders probably was thinking the price will go down, right? Which they've been actually correct. But look, so it was on the 28th, they had this 83%, and then look, 75, 60, 70, 69. So that was happening that here, 83%, and then boom, 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 price going up, and the shorts are decreasing. Why? Because they've been stopped out. These people, they probably had stop losses in here, so they are now stopped out, right? So we can see that from here, as they had these positions, they use it in here to stop out retail traders and probably close those positions. And look what is the retail right now doing. For the last 3 days, they actually growing their longs positions, not that much. We can see that the volume is of course just a few hundred lots. It's nothing, but mostly I was comparing this with as well the other similar services which you can find on the MyFX book or the Forex Factory. They collecting this data as well, and it's always same, and it's data from the different brokers. Why is it same? Because the behavior of the crowd is always same. So we can see here liquidity taken out, it reached to the top of the channel, which is of course the subjective thing, so don't take it as a like a mantra or whatever. And now these traders being taken out. There is still a lot of people shorting. Probably they've been shorting something like a break of the trend line, which is actually happening in here as well. It's good to know that actually the retailers who are trending the trend lines, they probably shorted you know, this, so they shorted the break, retest, you know, now they are shorting, where they will have these stop losses right now here above this, above the trend line and above these two equal highs, right? So that's why I will be now looking for the entry here. I will show you where I want to enter. I want to enter on this gap. So in my opinion, the price will come to rebalance this, which is very close to the weekly open. It can of course go even higher, but what I will be doing, I will be looking for the trade in the 50% of this gap, and I will put my stop loss. Of course I could be, you know, targeting this and trying to get, you know, 1 to 10 trades. Yes, but I'm not doing this. When I used to be doing this, I get a lot of stop losses. Then in the end, I'm more profitable, but psychologically it's a bit more difficult because you have more stop losses, then you have big winners. But for me, it's more comfortable to put my stop loss above this, you remember, this profile. So I will put my stop loss above this profile, which is above the whole number, which is 1.16. It's here, and I like to put it above the 1.1625, and I will be targeting price to come down. Where is the liquidity now? What about this? What you think? Here, those who entering this breakout here, they will put stop losses here. Maybe, you know, you will find some stop losses here, some here, here, but here will be big stop loss cluster. And what else is here? This gap, right? So this gap will most likely be filled, and I think it will be filled completely because what I have already watched a few times, if some gap is being touched couple times like this, that means in the next move it will not be supportive and it will be filled completely. So where we will come next, I think it will be down to here, right? So this is a gap and this will be a target. So I think this is very possible, right? And still we can get 1 to 5 trade, but obviously I will be closing some parts on the way down, right? So here taking some partial profit, which would be 1 to 3. We see exactly 1 to 3 risk reward, and here 1 to 5, right? So tonight is FOMC. What can happen? Of course, we never know. Market can go like this. If that happened to me, I will immediately short again, right? Because this is clear. Let's go here. This is absolutely clear what is happening here. We only need to time the market correctly, and in my opinion it will be here in this thing. Now it looks like you know, it looks like I wanna trade the trend line, and I don't have nothing against the trend line. Trend lines, someone can trade it profitable, yes, correct, but I'm not looking to enter based on the retest of the trend line, right? To just make it clear, right? I want to trade this based on the taking out these two highs, right? These two equal highs. There will be probably some stop losses of those who entered the breakdown here, right? All right, my friends. So based on this thing, I am going to look for the short. Okay. Have a great trading week. Bye bye.